because I just had a crazy appraisal issue. And you may have already seen this on my story today, but I want to break it down just a little bit more. Because if you're in real estate, congrats on the baby, appreciate you. Because if you're in real estate, you're going to run into appraisal issues inevitably at some point. So with that, how do you work through the appraisal issues, right? So here's the background on a deal that I just did. So I bought a property and I was burring this property. So I bought it using other people's money, renovated it using other people's money, and then I rented it out to a tenant, and now I'm refinancing it with a bank. So on the refinance, part of that process is that an appraisal has to be done because a bank will not lend the money without an appraisal on the property. So because they want to make sure they're not over leveraged. So appraiser went out to the property and did an appraisal, and it came back at $165,000. I was thinking it was going to come back closer to $200,000. That's a pretty big gap on a $200,000 property. That's about 20% off, like 18% off. So that's a pretty big gap. So I had a few options, and so essentially I had 165,000. If I was able to close, if I was to move forward and close the deal at that price, I would have had to keep like $8,000 to $9,000 of my money into this deal on the refinance. So to own a $200,000 positively cash flowing asset for an $8,000 down payment, that's not that bad. It's a 4% down payment. But the goal, in my opinion, in doing real estate is to do this business without using any of your own money, right? So on the refinance, the goal is to get all your money out so you can own the assets, you can own real estate without using a single penny of your own money. That's the goal. So I got a bad appraisal, came back at $165,000. The problem with the appraisal, they appraised it as a 3-bed, 1-bath, and it should have been a 4-bed, 2-bath. And there's two comps essentially on the same street, like 2 blocks over, that were 2-bed, 1-bath that sold at $180,000. So they're saying that my property is worth 15 grand less than a house that's essentially half of the size, half the bedrooms, half the bathrooms. That makes zero sense. There's literally no sense at all that is made out of that. So I challenged the appraisal. So I went back and asked for them to update the appraisal. So they updated the appraisal and they brought it back at $168,000. I challenged it again. They updated the appraisal and brought it back at $170,000. And here's the funny thing about this appraisal process. They appraised it as a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom. So they didn't give me credit for the 4th bedroom. And they didn't give me credit for the 4th bedroom because they said that it wasn't a bedroom. It was a bedroom. But and then I asked them why they couldn't use the 2-bedroom comps because they didn't use those in the appraisal. And they're like, well, it's too much of a difference. It's a 2-1 versus a 4-2. We would have to make too many adjustments to count that one. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, that's a good comp. So I had the choice at this point to either take the bad appraisal, in my opinion, that came back at $170,000, or hire another appraiser to bring in another appraisal to the property to see if I can get back, the appraisal, which I think should be around $190,000 to $200,000. And that's the decision that I have to make. I had to decide if I was going to pay another $800, spend another $1,000-ish on additional holding costs to see if I could get a higher appraised value. And some of the comments that I decided to close the deal with the $170,000, which required me to keep about $4,000 of my money into the deal. And I decided to do that. And I got a lot of comments when I made this, when I told people what I did. I got a lot of feedback of people saying, why would you do that? Why don't you challenge the appraisal so you can pull out more money? And at the end of the day, the way this deal was structured, I didn't have enough seasoning. I didn't own it long enough to pull cash out. They would only let me do a rate and term, which means that they would pay off my previous debt and then change the interest rate. So I wasn't able to pull money out. Now, if I was able to pull money out on this deal and I thought I got shafted by $35,000, which would have been like 25, 30 grand in my pocket, then yes, I would have challenged the appraisal because I want that additional $25,000 in my pocket instead of, out in no man's land. But in this scenario, the way that the deal was structured, I wasn't able to pull money out even if I wanted to. So at the end of the day, the decision for me was to spend another $2,000 to save $4,000, maybe, or just to pay the $4,000 on the refinance. So I decided to just pay the $4,000, pull that money, pay off my lender, not pool the money, but pay off the lender and then go buy another property and use those funds from my lender to fund that deal. That was the best solution for me because I'm actually losing more money by having that money tied up and not allowing me to go out and purchase another asset. So in real estate, you're going to run in to money to appraisal issues at some point in life. I've had, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 appraisal issues over 300 plus deals. But this was the worst appraisal that I've ever seen. And it made no sense. If you're just getting on here, if you go to my story on Instagram, you'll be able to see some more of the pictures and stuff that were used. But it was horrendous. It was bad. So we got it up $5,000, not where I wanted it to, but life goes on. So that's a little bit of background on the appraisal issues. Let's open it up to Q&A here. Get some questions answered and get some value done. I would have done exactly what you did. Time is money. Agreed. Take the lower appraisal and move on. Luckily, in a position where you didn't need the $4,000 liquidity, it will make up for it in cash flow. 100% agreed. 100% agreed. So that's a great point. Here's the other side of that coin. Let's say you're trying to do a BRRRR, but you don't have that $4,000 to put back into the asset. You can challenge the appraisal. I guarantee you, if you got another appraisal done, the value would have came back higher. I guarantee it. It has to, because a house literally half the size sold for more. Doesn't make any sense to me. So if you didn't have the $4,000 that you needed to do this deal, then you're good. Just get another appraisal and you're good to go. Just wait. It'll take another 2 to 3 weeks and life will move on. But that's a very good point because a lot of people aren't in the position to be able to put that money up. So all you got to do is actually challenge and fight the appraisal and get another one. What books do you recommend for real estate? That one right there. It's called Get Free Houses. I wrote it. It's how to use other people's money to build wealth in real estate for yourself and for your own family. Does one need to do college to do what you do? Absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form. You don't need any degree. You don't need any license. You don't need any of those things to do what I do. Anybody at any place in time can buy real estate for themselves with no degree, no license, no variables, no nothing. You can buy real estate for yourself at any given time. Love your stuff, man. Been following you for a while. I love it. I've been in a house for 3 years, and I'm considering to get a HELOC to get into BRRRR. What are your thoughts? Yeah, you can get a HELOC. I actually just did. Yes, my book's on Amazon, or you can go to howtogetfreehouses.com. You can pull a HELOC. I actually just posted a YouTube video on this like 3 or 4 days ago. So I'll definitely go to my YouTube channel, Austin Rutherford on YouTube. The video's on there. But you can do that. I've always been in the camp of using other people's money. So you can pull a HELOC. At the end of the day, it's not a bad decision by any means. I just think there's better ways of doing it personally. What drop the questions y'all got in the comment section below here, so we can get some questions rolling, get some questions answered. Does your state not allow you to pick the appraiser? No. So no state allows you to pick the appraiser because what happened in 2008 is people were paying off appraisers to give them the values that they needed. So since then, they've made lenders, banks have required that it be like a blind appraisal search. So some of them you can set up like a panel of appraisers. So you have 3 or 5 different appraisers that you want to be used. And then one of those 3 to 5 will be used, but rarely ever do they let you pick the one appraiser. And in this situation, I had the panel of 3 appraisers, and this still happened. So needless to say, there's a new panel of appraisers that are now doing my deals because that is crazy. What do you think about Section 8 investing? I think it's cool. I got some Section 8 properties. It depends on the area. Personally, in Columbus, Ohio, Section 8 is a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. I haven't been paid for months, many months. They're telling me, oh, it's being processed. We're waiting on an inspection for over 5 weeks. So the property's sitting vacant just to get an inspection done for over 5 weeks. So it depends on the area that you're in, if Section 8 is going to be great for you or not. Is wholesaling still alive? I went to one of your seminars last year in Miami. Is wholesaling still alive? Yeah, there's a massive amount of money that can be made in wholesaling, 100%. I have my HELOC. Should I buy a bigger house or an investment property? I, I'm always with investments. Buy the assets, use the cash flow from the assets to then purchase whatever it is that you want to buy. Never, ever, 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 ever use your money to go buy something, ever. Use your money to buy the assets, whether that's I chose real estate. Bought a lot of real estate, whether that's real estate, whether that's crypto, whether that's stocks, whether that's investing into a business, whatever it is. Use your money to invest into the asset that will provide cash flow and generate wealth for you, and then use your profits and your cash flow then to go buy whatever it is that you want to buy. So here's a quick story. I was house hacking a duplex when I was 23-ish years old, and I wanted a new house. So what did I decide to do? I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to build a new construction house. I owned a piece of land. I owned a lot of land, but I decided to build a new construction house on one of the pieces of land. And my mortgage payment would have been like $2,700. So I was like, all right, cool. How many rental properties do I need to buy to make up for the $2,700? And it was nine rental properties at $300 a month in profit covered my $2,700 payment. So I was like, cool. I went out and I bought 9 more rental properties, and then I built my new construction house. And by the way, that house, I rented some of the bedrooms to my friends. So I was actually making a profit on the house that I was living in. So literally any time in life, my Rolls Royce, when I went out and bought my Rolls Royce, I had 2 goals to be able to go and buy the Rolls Royce. Number one, I want to start a new business, which is Elevate, which is my real estate coaching business. Wanted to start a new business and profit over $100,000. I did that. I was like, cool. Next goal. I want to buy, it was like 11 or 13 houses. I wanted to buy enough rental properties that would cover the payment on the Rolls Royce if I had a payment. I bought it cash, so I don't have a payment. But if I had the payment, I wanted to own the rental properties to cover the Rolls Royce payment. So then I went out and I bought the rental properties. So I generated a new found $100,000. I started a new business and made money, and I bought 13 other rental properties. So then I went out and I bought the Rolls Royce. So everything in my life, I find a way to buy the assets first that generate the cash and the revenue, and then use those profits, use that goal to then go buy whatever it is that I want in life. So now I'm in a house and I want a bigger house. So my mortgage payment is going to go up. I'm like, all right, cool. I need to generate newfound revenue in a new business model, and I need to go buy a lot more cash flowing assets that'll pay me so that I don't have to pay for this new house. I can have other people pay for my entire livelihood. That's my goal. That's how I structure everything I do in my life. I have a total of 8 properties. Congrats. 2 of them are Airbnbs. My dad, it's only $300,000. If I were to sell everything today, I think I can get one. What should I do? I'm confused. Elaborate on the question. You have 8 properties, but you have 2 of them, but you have 300 grand and you want one. So help me out. Elaborate a little bit more. What conferences do you recommend for someone that is starting to flip houses? My conference, I have a conference in South Florida on March 28th and 29th. So here in just over 2 weeks. So March 28th and 29th in South Florida. Come out. We're going to have, I'm going to have some of my mentors come out to speak. I'm going to be speaking. We're going to be giving you all the game about real estate. So yeah. DM me if you want to learn more. If you're on Instagram, comment the word summit and I'll send you some more information on that. But we'd love to meet you in person down here in South Florida. Just joined. You do multifamily. Yes. How to get sellers agree to seller financing. This is a whole nother, concept in and of itself. But at the end of the day, you got to show them the value of what you can provide, which is seller financing. So if a seller's just like, hey, 100%, I want my money, I'm moving to Japan, then there's nothing you're going to be able to do. But if a seller is talking to you about selling their property, they're like, but, I like the cash flow, I live off the cash flow, I'm nervous to sell because I need the cash flow. Then you can pitch seller financing because you can structure it in a way where you buy the asset, and then instead of paying the bank a mortgage payment, you can pay the seller a mortgage payment so they can still get the cash flow that they want. And a lot of times, if you're buying distressed real estate, you can essentially pay them the same amount of money. So I'm negotiating a deal right now, trying to negotiate a deal where they're making about $15,000 a month today in cash flow. Right. So today they're making about $15,000 a month. It's grossly under rented. So my strategy would be to go in, renovate the property, increase the rents to then cover the new balance. So essentially my mortgage payment would be about $15,000 to a bank. So why go get a mortgage from a bank where I can give these people $15,000 a month in cash flow if they become the bank for me? So that's what I'm trying to put. Because when I was talking to them, they're like, "No, I don't really want to sell. I like the cash flow. The cash flow is great." I was like, "All right, cool. You're older. I know you went out. You don't like the management. So let me give you the same cash flow. Let me give you $1 million up front today and 15 grand a month for the rest of your life." So that's how you can kind of talk through and structure those things. I know you mentioned you were hiring in Columbus. Any tips for hiring the right people? Yeah, I mean, hiring the right people is, I'm still trying to hire. Hiring the right people, you got to have somebody that fits the culture. You got to have somebody that wants to grow. Because if people don't want to grow, like I'm very growth oriented. So if you're on the team and you don't want to grow, like it's never going to work because I move fast. I like to get stuff done. And if you're not on the same pace, like it's extremely frustrating. Question: am I crazy for doing 15-year loans or cash purchases for all my real estate? Cash purchases, I think so, yes. Because at the end of the day, you can buy 10 houses instead of one. Now, I'm not opposed to doing a 15-year loan and or putting like 50% down. If you're like super, super flush with cash, maybe do 50% down in a 15-year loan or 60% down, or sorry, other way, 40% down in a 15-year loan, because you can buy 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 times as much real estate still and have zero risk of not being able to make those payments. So I don't like buying cash. I know you're young, bro. You're crushing it. You got a long way to go. I would try to own 10 times the amount of real estate by putting less down today. Just got your book. I love it. For those just jumping on, get free houses right here. Get free houses. Grab a copy of it. Go to howtogetfreehouses.com and it'll show you how to build wealth using other people's money. I want 5 houses right now. Go raise money to buy real estate using other people's money. uh, I had an appraiser not use a comp that was across the street from the house I was getting because they didn't see it. So the thing with appraisers, I got another question today when I was talking about this appraisal issue. They're like, "Do you see this often, and do you see appraiser values come in differently?" The thing this is what I hate about this entire model about appraisers. There's no mathematical formula to come with an appraisal. None. Zero, zip, nada. Like if you're trying to find a math equation, if you're trying to find the answer to a math equation, there's a legit answer. There's a right answer and there's a wrong answer. Period. Point blank. The thing with appraising, there is no right answer because it's all opinionated. Here's how an appraisal happens. They walk the house and then they compare your house to other houses. And let's say let's say both houses have 3 bed, 1 bath, but their house has a garage and your house doesn't. It's their opinion of how much the value a garage carries. One appraiser may think that the garage is an additional $10,000 in value. Another appraiser might think that the garage is an additional $50,000 in value. Or it might be a 3 bedroom, 1 bath versus a 3 bedroom, 2 bath. And one appraiser may think that the additional bathroom is worth $5,000. And another appraiser may think that that additional bathroom is worth $30,000. So everybody has a different opinion because there's no mathematical formula, because every market, those values are different. If you're in New York City, the value of a garage is probably millions of dollars. If you're in Columbus, Ohio, the value of a garage really doesn't make a difference in the sale price of a home. People buy houses for the same price with and without a garage. So it all depends on the area that you're in and the opinion of the appraiser that's appraising your property. That's what I hate about it, because there is no math answer. There's no right answer. It's all opinionated. So that's a problem with appraisals, unfortunately. I'm getting your book, big bro. Let's get this journey started. It's time. It's time. Get you some free houses. I don't know if y'all can read that. I don't know if it's like backwards or not, but the book is called Get Free Houses: How to Build Wealth Using Other People's Money. So if you go to howtogetfreehouses.com, you can grab you a copy. And again, I'm doing an event in South Florida in Fort Lauderdale, March 28th and 29th. here in Fort Lauderdale, where we're going to be showing you again how to build wealth using other people's money, building wealth using other people's money, building wealth using other people's money, building wealth and cash flow and financial freedom and your lifestyle by design that you want to have using other people's money. I can say it a million times so I'm blue in the face. Like, what is more powerful than that? Literally building your lifestyle by design with somebody else's money. You don't even need your money to do it. That's the crazy part. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So if you want to learn more about that, shoot me a DM, or if you're on Instagram, comment the word summit, SUMMIT, and I'll send you some information over about that. Do you take depreciation or pay your taxes? I take depreciation. That's the other beautiful thing about real estate. If you do it the right way, you can use real estate to offset your tax liability. So if you make $100,000 on a W-2, if you look at your pay stubs, you're only going to get paid, $70,000 because the other $30,000 goes to taxes. When I get paid $100,000, I keep $100,000 because I don't have a tax liability because I buy enough real estate to offset my tax liability. So think about this. I buy real estate using other people's money. That the value of the home goes up over time. The cash flow goes up over time. The amount I owe on the property goes down over time, and it saves me money in taxes. What other asset class can do that? Come on now. How do you feel about fix and flip loan then rolling into long term? Yeah, you can use hard money and then refi it into long-term debt, 100%. Do I qualify for a mortgage with 1 year of W-2? Yes, there's a lot of different ways to finance deals. So you might not qualify in one way, you might qualify in a variety of different ways. If I have a $100,000 down payment looking to buy a 3 to 4 unit property, how do I analyze a good deal? You got to run the numbers. What I look for is cash flow, number one, a 1.2 DSCR minimum or greater. And I look for not using any of my own money. So even though you have a $100,000 down payment, I still wouldn't put it as a down payment on the property, right? Again, I want to use other people's money. OPM, baby, OPM. So if I can use other people's money, then I can use that $100,000 to go buy, more, or to continuously use other people's money. I never want to use my money when investing into real estate. Do you manage all your rental properties? No, I do not manage my rental properties. I have property management companies that manage my rental properties because my highest and best time is going out and buying more assets. So I was on the phone with a young kid yesterday looking to get into real estate. And he said that, I think what I'm going to do this summer is I'm going to pick up a job with a contractor so I can work and make a little bit of money. But also the real reason is to learn how construction works. So when I start flipping houses, I'll understand how construction works. And I was like, you want my honest opinion? He was like, yeah. I was like, that is the biggest waste of time you will ever do in your entire life, because you don't need to know how to swing a hammer. You don't need to know how to install a window. I still don't know. I don't know how to do any of it. I can work a screwdriver and that's about it. Electrical, nope. Plumbing, nope. HVAC, nope. Installing windows, nope. Roofing, nope. Siding, nope. I've maybe painted 2 walls in my entire life. I don't know how to install flooring, don't know how to install trim, don't know how to install framing. I don't know how to do any of those things. And I've made many millions of dollars in real estate and own over $25 million in real estate today. I've done tens of millions of dollars in construction, and I personally don't know how to do any of those things. So why would you go and spend your time trying to learn something that doesn't benefit you? It doesn't add more revenue. What I'm doing, instead of learning how to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find another piece of real estate that's going to make me $20, $50, $100, $200,000. I don't need to know that. I can hire people to do those things. So, I don't know. Focus on things that drive revenue. Why your voice changes? I have no idea. Do you feel good? Credit is a must when getting into real estate. It's not a must, but it definitely helps. Credit helps, but it's not a must. Can you refinance a fourplex to pay off your personal house mortgage to put the interest deductible? I don't understand the question. Tons of props for less than that amount going. I don't want duplexes. I love my single families, but I'm willing to sell all my single families to buy one building. So the biggest question I get is like, do you buy single families or multifamilies? I buy it all. I buy whatever makes sense. I own single family houses. I own duplexes. I own apartment buildings. I own commercial buildings. I own warehouses. I own whatever cash flows, whatever makes sense. So, don't put yourself in a little box. Go make money, and then you can deviate. And you can say, all right, cool. I like this. I'm doing that. I'm only doing multifamily. I'm only doing warehouse. I'm only doing single family houses. I'm starting to slightly make that pivot right now into commercial assets, triple net leases. It's a game changer. So that's a small pivot that I'm making in my business right now. If you have $250,000, how would you start today? Same way I started, doing real estate, using other people's money. You don't need your money to do real estate. I would use that money for marketing to find amazing deals to 2, 5, 10x that money, and hiring a mentor. I'm a big believer in hiring a coach. I hired a coach from the very beginning of my real estate career. I paid $25,000 to today. I pay one of my coaches, tens and tens of thousands of dollars every year. So I spend 50 to 100 grand every year in masterminds, learning from other people that are in a position that I want to be in, to learn from them so I can eventually be in that position. Hopefully sooner than later. That's the point of hiring a coach. What position are you hiring for? I'm willing to reload to Columbus and being around like-minded people. I'd be grateful for that. Shoot me a DM. Hiring sales, hiring operations, hiring an executive assistant. So shoot me a DM if it's something you're interested in. Do you still have room in your Miami real estate seminar? Yes, I got asked that question this morning. We have a couple tickets left right now. So if it is something you're looking to come for, again, March 28th and 29th here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, we're doing a 2-day mastermind teaching all things real estate. So if you want more information on that, if you want to come out, connect with me, network with others, and learn a lot about real estate, go ahead and comment the word SUMMIT, SUMMIT, and I'll send you some information over on that. I appreciate that. I did 40% down and 15-year for most. That's great to hear. I like it. Those are going to cash flow, and you're going to pay them off a lot faster. Appraisers also look to see what you purchased the property for and what the loan amount is for, and they appraise the property for just enough to pass. Yeah, I hate that. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina is a place to build and purchase property. It's going to explode. I like it. The cool thing about real estate is every area in every market is going to grow in value over time. Like it just is what it is. Every area in every market is going to increase in value over time. So that you can literally buy real estate anywhere and make a ton of money from it. It's a beautiful thing. Angie on TikTok, I just saw your comment, Summit. If you can DM me on Instagram, it's at Austin Rutherford on Instagram, or send me an email at support@theaustinrutherford.com. I'll send you over some information on the summit. Hopefully, look forward to meeting you there. Dude, how much debt and net worth you have? I own about $25 million in real estate, and I'm about 60% leveraged. My dude is still getting it. Let's get it. Our talk made me leave my 9 to 5. Let's go. Taking the leap of faith and believing in yourself. I'm ready for the summit. Looking forward to meeting you down here in Fort Lauderdale in just over 2 weeks. It's going to be an exciting, amazing time. So looking forward to connecting with you soon, brother. How old are you? I'm 30. This guy got all the knowledge when it comes to real estate. His coaching program is so worth it. Zay, what's up? I appreciate that. Thank you. Do you still have room for your real estate seminar in Miami? Yes. Sorry, I'm way behind on comments. But yes, we have a couple tickets left. So if it's something you're interested in, comment the word summit, and I can send you over some more information on the event, the 2-day event here in South Florida. I'm way behind. Sorry, I'm still catching up on these comments. Any suggestions on military personnel trying to get into this? Yeah, start. There's no time like the present. Number one, thank you for your service, sincerely. But you can do real estate from anywhere in the world at any time. I live in Florida and I invest in Ohio, so you don't have to be in the area that you're at. What if the investment cash flows only in the second year of owning it? I would never buy an asset that doesn't cash flow. Now, if it doesn't cash flow immediately because my purpose for purchasing the property is value add, so to buy it distressed and then add value, then that's cool. But like if my plan is just to buy it and it be negatively cash flowing, I'm not touching it. The only reason anybody ever goes bankrupt or goes to foreclosures from lack of cash flow. So I'm never buying it if it doesn't cash flow. Again, if I have a plan to quickly get it to cash flow positive, then yes, I'll do that for sure. What's better than Scotty? Uh, Again, I tell you, I pay for the education, so I'm a VIP type of guy. When I walk in to the club, back in the day, I don't go to the club anymore, but I'm paying to skip the line. I want to be in the room with the movers and shakers. Which hotel is the event going to be at? It's in Fort Lauderdale on the A1A. You'll get the hotel once you book, because unfortunately we can't give that out to have people showing up. But rooms I think are $250 a night, but it's on the A1A right off of Los Olas in Fort Lauderdale. Do you wholesale? I used to wholesale. I don't wholesale anymore because what I realized is when you wholesale other people's houses, you're making them wealthy and you're just making a little bit of money. I want to be on the wealth train. So now I buy the houses. So I don't wholesale anymore. I'm the buyer. I'm the end buyer. I'm the one that's trying to get rich. That's me. When using a hard money loan, they want you to put down 15% plus closing costs. Where can you get the 15% from? Private money, baby. And if you use private money instead of hard money, you have 0% down. You can literally get your deals 100% funded using other people's money. Can I rub your head for good luck? I'm prior military and have the ins and outs on how to VA loans to purchase rental property. I love that. Yeah, if you're military, you have VA loans, game changer. You can get into real estate. There's another way to get into real estate with none of your own money. Will your book help with / want to buy $1 million property with OPM, or is it for lower price real estate only? No, it's for everything. I've bought the highest thing I've bought with private money is $5.7 million. $5.7 million with private money. So it works. It works for all the above. What states are you buying in? Personally, me, I'm buying in Columbus, Ohio right now. Hey man, I signed up for the summit and clicked the hotel reservation. It was showing there were no rooms available. Have you heard that from anyone else? Kevin, shoot me an email, support@theaustinrutherford.com, support@theaustinrutherford.com. And we'll see if we can get some more rooms added to the room block. So shoot that over to me and I'll have my team look at it. What colors do you paint your houses and what colors do you use for cabinets? I don't pick that. My general contractors do, but I believe we paint the inside gray, the outside usually gray, and cabinets normally white. Any investing books you recommend? Yes, my book, Get Free Houses. If you go to howtogetfreehouses.com, you can get your free copy of my book, How to Build Wealth Using Other People's Money. Got time for a couple more questions. Drop it in the comment section below. Before I wrap up, again, I'm going to answer some more questions, but March 28th and 29th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I've got a two-day event where I'm going to teach you how to build wealth in real estate using other people's money. It's one thing to like be on social media and learn over the phone, but like when you're in person, it just hits so differently. Every time I go to a mastermind or a two-day conference, you learn one thing, you meet one person, you get one idea, one opportunity. All you need is one thing, and it can change the trajectory of your life forever. Literally forever, one thing. And when you're in person, the relationships that are built and the things that you learn are vastly different than sitting in front of a screen trying to learn. So highly recommend if you're able to get down to South Florida, March 28th and 29th, it's going to be an absolute game changer. Also, what's the difference between the tickets? One's VIP, so you're sitting in the front row and you're networking with all the other speakers, and you get to come to a private networking event and a private dinner with myself, the speakers, and the other VIP guests. So those are the differences between the two. How do you find houses that cash flow? So one, you got to be in the right markets. Houses areas like California, Florida, South Florida, those markets don't cash flow positively. I like the Midwest area or the Southeast. Actually, I really like the Midwest. But once you find a market that the price points make sense to cash flow, then you just got to run your numbers. Again, I look for a 1.2 DSCR or greater, and I look to get into these assets with none of my own money. So those are the two numbers that I look for: $0 out of pocket and 1.2 DSCR or greater. Those are two things that I look for. If you had no real estate and $300,000 cash, what would you do? The options are endless. Agree. The options are endless. At the end of the day, it's like, what do you want to do with it? Again, I wouldn't, you could go buy 20% down. That could get you a $1.5 million property. So you can go buy a $1.5 million property. But I wouldn't do that. I think that's a terrible idea. I would use a strategy that I use, which is using other people's money to invest into real estate, and then span that, 300K over, 30, 40, 50, 60 units or houses, instead of buying one, $1.5 million property. Again, I like using other people's money to buy real estate, to build wealth for yourself and your family with other people's money. How does California not cash flow when a studio apartment costs $2,000? Because that studio apartment probably cost them $500,000, and the taxes are insane, and the insurance is crazy. So it's significantly, the price, the cost significantly outweighs the rent amount. Dude's getting a real estate license helping anyway with real estate? No. How you doing, bro? It's been a while since I've seen you. What up? I don't know who that is. Cool. Well, again, if you want to grab my book, it's How to Get Free Houses Using Other People's Money, Build Wealth for Yourself with OPM. If you go to howtogetfreehouses.com, you can grab a copy of my book. And if you comment the word summit, SUMMIT, comment the word summit, I'll send you some more information on the event that I'm going to be doing in South Florida on March 28th and 29th. All things real estate, raising money, buying houses, building wealth with other people's money. So comment the word summit, SUMMIT, if you want some more information on that. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. I'm going to go hang out with the wifey. Appreciate y'all being here, and we'll see y'all soon. So have a good evening. Peace.